Now I'm spectating. Appreciate your patience, guys. This is it's new territory for me personally to join a stream through this manner, but this is really interesting. I'm really digging this.
Yeah. It's gonna be a wild one.
Yeah. So in the Twitch stream right now, I've posted the link to the Facebook page for the World Viewing Party. So on November 10th, guys, we have the Concordia is hosting the Esports Association is hosting the World's Viewing Party, and it's going to be at 1455 Boulevard Maisonneuve West. Come out, watch some League of Legends. It's going to be a blast, guys. If you're into the game, doesn't matter if you're good or not. Just come out and root for whoever. You want to root for a champion, you root for a champion. You want to root for a team, you root for a team. If you want to root for Scuttle, then shame on you. But
Don't knock the Scuttle.
Don't knock the Scuttle.
No,
he doesn't even attack anything.
I mean, he does his best.
I guess that's so once again, you guys are seeing what we managed to describe last time, which was the picks and bans.
In impeccable detail, I might add. You might not.
Powering off.
We're seeing the Shaco.
Everybody's favorite champion getting locked in.
You guys let us know what you think, because if you guys are know some way to get around that Shaco, please inform me. Because I have a hard time personally with the invisible champions. I remember playing League back in the day when you can drop a pink ward and pretty much see everything. You remove that.
Good to know.
It was I guess you can say I was gutted that I have a hard time personally with that, but these guys are a lot better than me. So we'll see what they do with it. Maybe I can learn a thing or two.
I'm sure we will learn more than two. And Cannon Van. See, that's who we didn't see before.
Ah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
We didn't see the Cannon ban. Cannon's a good champion for.
He's an awesome team fighting champion.
Yes.
If you can land a nice team wide stun.
That little electric hamster, I'm telling you, he's the nightmare of a lot of people. It's pretty good in TFT too, actually.
He is awesome in
A little elemental buff, a little Yordle buff.
TFT. The Yordles.
Yordles are very annoying. Almost as annoying as the nobles.
Well then, yeah.
So this is so we're hopping into the game now, and I gotta say I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. This looks like it's gonna be a slugfest. I don't know how. Don't look mid lane. He feats. Well, I mean, I'm gonna try to. I don't know how he could possibly feed more than me in the mid lane. Actually, my worst lane is the top lane, but I'm sure he would just wipe the floor with us. I'm pulling for Concordia. I think they're gonna tear some A right now because that Cho'Gath, just nom, nom, nom.
Yeah, that's what the champion says in the game, I think.
He says something like that. Something to the sort of that,
Yeah, I don't play him.
Okay. So we are about to hop directly into the game.
In about 3 minutes.
Yes. So we have been granted a 2-minute and 40-second delay, just so that we don't spoil anything for anybody who's playing the game.
Yeah, we don't give any tips.
Hmm.
Any pro tips?
No, can't tell them. Oh, he's in the jungle or he's in blue side or wherever it is. But so now we're gonna fill this time with the sounds of our lovely voices. So I apologize to everybody who's annoyed with this right now, but too bad you're stuck with us. In any case, so Jay,
yes.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to be taking the early game in this matchup? When you look at someone like Kai'Sa and Leona, they have Kai'Sa's usually. I think Kai'Sa and Ashe are very similar in the sense that their strengths really come after a couple items. The CC coming from Ashe gives her a little bit more in the early game than Kai'Sa, but with Nautilus and Leona, these two lanes look pretty identical. So I think it's going to be based on skill. Whoever manages to get out of this one ahead. But Cho'Gath versus Ornn, you don't see that. I haven't seen that very much. Who do you think has the upper hand in that matchup?
Cho'Gath versus Ornn, I think. That's an interesting one. I do want to go back to the bot lane though. You're talking about the Leona and the Nautilus. I think the Leona has a little bit more CC,
Mm-hmm.
especially earlier on. So I think that may sway some fights.
Yeah.
Some little 2v2s, but of course, jungle presence with the Shaco being invisible. I think earlier on he probably has a better gank than the Kiana.
But how's Kiana's clear speed, right? Because Shaco has the ability to drop his boxes, and he doesn't necessarily need a leash.
I don't think it's as fast as Shaco.
Okay, so you think Shaco's really going to be able to tear through the jungle? So
Maybe a little bit faster, yes.
and if someone's going to be putting some pressure on one of the lanes, I think Syndra and Orianna, they're similar enough that their kits are going to have them, I guess, clearing the waves at a pretty equal pace.
I think that Syndra's lack of mobility will kind of hurt her a little bit, but as long as she can dodge those Qs and, I think that Orianna ultimate, when the very low mobility champions, when it sucks you in, you got to be ready to just, delete her before she can delete you.
And imagine putting that ball on top of Nautilus when Nautilus kind of jumps. Well, maybe not necessarily Nautilus, maybe Shaco. She can put her ball on Shaco.
And maybe teleports in. He does a nice ult.
And we're gonna be hopping into the game in about, well, hopefully soon.
A few more seconds.
We're also gonna have to load in.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't crash, because last night we had some issues with the League of Legends client crashing. But I like what they did with the client lately. It is really, really nice. The splash
new client
arts,
looks beautiful.
It really does look nice. I really like, and
we were talking about the splash art before. My favorite again, the Malphite.
The Malphite splash art.
Yeah.
Although Gentleman Cho'Gath, that is a nice pick as far as skins are concerned.
That's what I aspire to look like, except for the big claws.
The claws and
Not the claws.
the teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, they're shiny.
I pretty much just want a monocle.
You just want a monocle. That's pretty much it. A monocle and a top hat.
Yeah, the top hat I could live without.
You can live without the top hat.
I
I don't know how you can monocle without the top hat. I feel like the two go hand in hand. They're congruent. You can't go one without the other.
I can make it work.
Okay, so we are hopping into the match right now, guys. The second that the game loads properly with its proper delay.
And here we go.
There we go. We're in it now.
Yeah, these guys look ready to go.
Yeah.
Out the gate as soon as it drops.
And game was paused, which would explain a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the scoreboard up.
A summoner has disconnected.
Put that down for everybody to see.
Yes, we'll see what everyone's building. And again, we'll be able to learn a few things. We'll be able to make some guesses.
The idea that the game is the worlds are on right now is really, really fascinating. I really like the fact that I really like this time of year when the worlds come in, because like the League of Legends hype is so big, and after 10 years of this game being out, I can remember being showed, and I guess maybe that's why I have such a soft spot for Cho'Gath, but like the first match that I played Cho'Gath, and when you play a champion like Cho'Gath, you think that I was under the impression that all the champions work that way, because the friend of mine that explained the game to me was like, oh, okay, like this is how you do it. So I'm playing bots. I don't know what's going on really. So the next match, I get someone like, I think Kale was the next person. I'm like, how does Kale eat and get bigger? And you're like, no, that's not how Kale works. She's got different abilities, bro. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that was.
Give me back the dinosaur.
I'm not sure. Is he a dinosaur?
I mean, I would call him a dinosaur. What would you call him?
sort of demon monster from the void.
A void demon monster, you say?
That is something that I did say.
Well, I mean,
But I guess that's kind of subjective, unless we looked at the League of Legends lore.
is there a League of Legends lore that we can look at right now to figure out what he says? Do you think it's easily accessible?
Probably.
Okay.
If you're willing to look it up.
Right now, what I'm trying to do is get my hands on the chat. But oh, and we're off, guys.
Out of the gates.
Out of the gates.
Welcome to Summoner's
And they
Rift.
welcome you to Summoner's Rift. So we have the three people trying to... I don't know, maybe they're trying to... You think this is a cheese here, or they're waiting
30
for...
seconds until minions spawn.
I do like some cheese.
Because they are stacking up pretty strong in that lane right now. Or they're just giving a little bit of cover because they know he's probably going to go for the red. They're just giving a little bit of support. I like to see that.
No, Shaco doesn't exactly need a leash, but I guess they're looking for the invade.
You
Just prepping for it.
feed a jungler. For every time you protect a jungler, you give yourself a fighting chance in the lanes.
Yeah, man.
It's one thing at the lower elos, you don't see enough of people taking the conscious steps to make sure that jungler gets off to a good start. One thing I notice is people just run straight to lane.
Yeah, they run straight to the lane.
I don't think anything makes me more upset than that. Just seeing the people run, and then the ganks there.
So now we're gonna see be able to compare the clear speed of the Kiana and the Shaco.
Kiana seems to be getting a little bit more help from her top lane.
Yeah, she doesn't have demon boxes to help her.
Oh.
She has a big ring.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, all the single ladies.
All the same. So Kiana's clear speed, she seems to be heading the right. I don't know if she's gonna go to. Wonder if she's gonna be going straight towards her red, which is pretty much what she decided to do. Shaco went to get the.
He went for his. He did a standard clear. Drugs. The wrap.
Bottom lane seems to be trading equally, and we got a nice stun on the Concordia side, which does on the side of UDM does a hefty bit of damage. But Concordia answers back, and he gets a great,
It's a beautiful trade over here.
nice pop up there.
This is what we want to see. We want to see some action.
That's what I like to see. So we have and the bottom lane seems to be as we suspected. They're pretty even in farm. Cho'Gath seems to be pushing Ornn back towards his tower, and everybody else seems to have the pretty equal.
We're getting some poke off from the Ashe on the Leona, so it's pretty much as we expected.
So now we seem to see Shaco moving down into the bottom lane. Oh, and a nice knock up there. And this is top lane. This is his lane now. I'm telling you.
He owns this lane.
So we see Shaco moving down. And once again, Orianna is getting some help from his mid lane, just warding up a little bit. Making sure that the jungler's not in trouble.
You see that Kiana had a lot.
Oh.
Might see a little cheesy stuff right here.
Oh, and with the...
Is that...
Did the ignite
Is
enough?
that... Yeah.
First blood goes over to Concordia. And we may see another one here. Nope.
Maybe.
Ornn jumps back in, and it's always surprising how much trouble, oh, with the knock up, and the flash away.
Had to burn that flash.
It was a strong trade, very strong trade, well played. So first blood going over to Shaco with the ignite.
Yeah, the Kiana's definitely gonna have a little bit of a harder time, especially the Shadow.
Oh.
We have another engage over here.
Another engage. That's not enough to kill, but it's definitely going to push her out of lane.
And another engage in the mid lane.
In
This
the
is-
mid
this
lane.
is what we wanted to see.
Yeah, this is it.
She must be able to get the stun off.
And Shaco explodes. That's perfect. Oh, and the trade is going off into the... Oh, but Kiana's coming up into the top lane. And that's not enough to kill her, but... She trades back. And gets a kill over in the top lane. So that kill goes over to the Kiana.
And more action in the bot lane.
this is what I pretty much. I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult for Nautilus, Leona and Kaisa, just simply because Ashe can stay a little bit further back with her attacks. And now that Shaco has the lead, they seem to be pushing over into the dragon.
We have a TP going down and near the dragon pit.
With Ornn going over into the dragon pit now. And they got a little bit pinched.
Sindra's moving over.
And uses his teleport over the wall
They might
to
just
get the
gifted
safety.
a dragon over to this red card. They can see.
No.
Now the Ashe coming up, but they're taking a lot of damage from the dragon.
They are. But now with the jungler coming in, it should make things a little bit easier.
Yes. Seems Shaco tries to do something.
Shaco is going in for the kill instead of the stun. And Leona barely gets away, although Ashe flashes in for the kill.
They just saved the dragon.
And the dragon is not there anymore.
Actually, no, not yet, because the jumps are
It's still quite low, but their health is pretty low. I don't know if they're gonna go back in. Nope, they decide to disengage.
Yeah, you saw it. They took a lot of damage from the dragon there, and Shaco tried to sneak in, but he got caught because Leona is just a CC machine.
Yeah, and she get that extra shield. It was a ballsy move. I mean, I thought he had him personally. I thought he was going in straight for the kill, but unfortunately it didn't go in his favor. But
and then you had Cho'Gath farming away at the top lane,
and that's
getting a plate.
You see, like the fact that Cho'Gath right now is above almost 20 farm, and he got the couple plates, means he's gonna come back to lane a lot stronger. Ornn also blew his TP to get back into lane. So that's going to relieve pressure from him coming in to help any of the other lanes for a couple minutes. And the snowball seems to be, in my opinion, going for that, trying to get Ashe fed.
Poke on the Leona, and a little bit of poke from the Ashe.
Yeah, force him back.
Force him back, and she has the red buff and the blue buff here. So we're going to see a lot of volleys and some nice burn. She just lost the blue buff, as I said that.
It's a Cass's curse, is what they say.
I think she
still has it. She still has it. So.
And they're pretty even in the bot lane farm.
The farm in the bot lane.
But the Ashe seems to get a little bit more poke off. Oh, and an engage on the Leona.
She dives straight in.
She uses Zenith Blade to stun in, and it was probably
That is a risky
ill-advised.
move. That is a risky move because
right here.
one
more shot.
Oh, the red buff takes her down, and she misses. Oh, she might get a triple kill here. What do you think? Oh, she just gets the double, but still, great play by the ADC on Concordia's side, and they go up 6 kills to 2.
Yeah, that was a kind of crazy move by the Leona to try and dive that.
Yeah, we saw a nice trade in the mid lane, not to cross you, Jamal. Both ults going off for Syndra and Orianna, but just not enough damage to get either player down.
Yeah, Syndra she doesn't have the full Luden's Echo yet.
No.
And Shaco's coming in again. She's completely undetected, and she has nowhere to go.
She had nothing to say.
She's not a very mobile champion.
No, she could move out of the way.
Still, we have a nice battle in the top lane here.
Yeah.
2 heavyweights going at it.
Battle of the Giants here. We see bottom lane working on some of those power plates. I am gonna have to move away from the screen for a sec. I just have to adjust something, guys, so please be just a little bit patient with me, okay?
Share. So let us know. Let us know how we're doing.
Let us know who you think is going to be a difference maker in this game. So far, Shaco with 3 kills, putting on the show and doing a lot more than Kiana right now at this moment.
The Shaco and the Ashe, they are going to be very important.
Yes. But don't underestimate that chill.
Oh, and the Ashe probably just misses.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point that the original Rex put out.
Kiana gets a stun to the wall, and she gets that big damage from
On
her
the Ash.
Q,
Oh, and the
then
stun goes off and we get a double kill. Double kill going over to UDEM.
So that was a very good ultimate from the Kiana. She was able to knock both of them back in the wall, get the stun off, does big damage, and then she's able to immediately. And then the stun really only came in just to keep the Nautilus from getting over. So that was a well game.
Right. And that is why rocking cleanse is very, very underestimated. The ability for her to cleanse out of that Q, cleanse out of that stun kept her barely alive. Oh, and the stopwatch too. And once again, the stopwatch at that moment paid for itself. We have a turret dive going over. It might have been unintentional. But like I was saying before, Original Rex points out, makes a good point to that we have a viewing party on November 10th in the downtown campus, the LOL World Champions viewing party. So guys, make sure to get down there to support the watch the game.
We have an Ornn ult flashed to dodge the knockup and the postman and the choke F eat.
Oh my god, I almost didn't see. I expected that one. It's very surprising how much damage that Cho'Gath does when he punches you, but
I thought he was gonna get. I thought the Ornn was gonna get that one when he flash dodged the knockup.
I was convinced too, but Cho'Gath just outplayed him.
Yeah, that was very good.
Very well done.
Rihanna clearing out some vision, which is very important. And Cindy gets the stun on. Gets her full combo. Wow.
It's a lot of damage that comes through when she gets her full combo like that.
She was just missing the ultimate. That's on cooldown for a little bit longer.
And imagine she doesn't even have a completed item yet, so.
The Kiana is in the bush right now. They probably suspect something. And oh wow, the land is stun, and here comes the shadow. Here the Kiana goes off, he's going down, Kiana goes down, but
Ash is still alive, and she is raining down the pain right now. Gets a double kill on Leona. That is some slick moves there. Although Ornn teleported in, and he seems to be caught in a little bit of trouble. Gives over the triple to Ash.
Well, that was a great response from both the Ornn and the Cho'Gath. The TPs came down immediately, and both junglers were there to help. You know, I think UDM probably had the advantage with the Kiana waiting for but the Ash arrow stun, the Shaco pops up unexpectedly.
Yeah, it's always so hard to keep track of where Shaco is exactly on the map. And now they have, they're getting the jungle, they're getting the dragon, which is a nice little added benefit to champions like Shaco and Ash. And the Infernal, is going to be a benefit to champions like Shaco and Ash. And Ash managed to grab a couple bits of farm to even up herself in farm before heading back to base.
And not to overshadow the solo kill
Turret
that
plating
Cinder
will
got.
soon fall.
Nice. What's it? But we still got pointed out.
I can. Sure. So, once again, we have a little bit of word clearing, a little bit of dances going on. And this is what we mean when we say it's really tough to keep track of that.
Shaco just forced the flash away. But
Oh,
here
but now
comes the
it's-
cavalry. The knockup is coming and
Shaco.
the root from the Kiana kept the Shaco in place and made an easy slam dunk.
It's times like that where you wish he had it. In any case, it's 6 kills to 12 in favor of Concordia.
We got about a 3.4 K gold lead.
14 minutes in, there's only one dragon, and there aren't any towers down, but the top and bottom towers for UDM seem to be a little bit
action here. Kiana ripping up see if she can get the backline, and she does, and the Kiana got stunned with the Nautilus to the wall.
With the Nautilus, a nice stun, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to get that extra turret hit to kill. So that's a kill going over on the bottom side to India. I gotta start playing more.
And here comes the choke.
No, it's not enough. He's gonna take a couple turret hits though.
But he has so much health.
Shaco, who is goes directly into the turret.
And pops in pretty much undetected with the turret was there, but there was nothing for him to do at that point.
That was set up by Cho'Gath being dominant in lane, just putting that much pressure on the Ornn. You could tell Kiana was trying to snowball her ADC and didn't give Ornn that much attention all game. And what ended up happening was that even though the first turret goes over to
they trade. It's a 1 for 2.
Kiana and
Kiana and Leona were there to offer some support to their mid laner.
yeah.
She still went down
Well, I mean, she went down, but she was avenged.
very quickly.
And all is fair in League of Legends. I don't know how the expression should.
So what does UDM have to do to get back into this game, guys?
Well, they're not that far off, right? I mean, a 3k gold lead, yes. Kaisa hasn't come online yet, so they're still kind of biding their time. They're only down a dragon and a tower, which you say is only, but you can tell that they're starting to do a little bit more damage now. So their trades and Kaisa personally is starting to, not personally, but Kaisa is starting to do a little bit more Kaisa things, hopping into the back line and just volleying all that damage. So we see a trade coming down. Personally, I think that they probably have to try to force at least one of those towers down to give a little bit more pressure into another.
Here's the Cho'Gath's gonna try and impose his will on the center.
That's
Leona clearing up here.
see Shaco in the back there. He always wants to stay a little bit outside of this. He never wants the enemy team to push out.
When you're playing an assassin like that, you always want to be flanking. Come out unexpectedly.
I'm not sure exactly what their game plan is. That was a very nice stun. I thought that if it was me, I would have gone right back into that knockup, but she was much wiser.
Very wise she was.
So Ash's farm is just a little bit lower. She's got almost 20 farm lower than Kaisa. Kaisa's been steady farming. Oh,
And
Syndra got caught.
she's at the top of the Ash Arrow.
And she just gets devoured, but the cavalry is coming in then with the Leona, and I pretty much use all the ults, but he flashes out and he manages to get almost out of the way, and he's putting them on into a merry chase. Finally gets taken down, and that's
Had to use so many ults just to take him down. You could see how much of a problem he's gonna be.
that Ash arrow from half court was really well done.
But at the same time, you could see that UDM starts to go back.
They are giving up mid tower for the trade on the bot tower, and I think that if you include the scuttle in on all that, I think the trade is still in favor for.
TP coming down.
And they're trying to delay Nautilus on the board as much as they can.
And Kaisa's starting to put down some damage on the Orianna, but the Shaco is still able to get the kill on the Ornn.
Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of feedback hearing that we are a little bit hard to hear, so I'm going to be adjusting that. Yeah. Is this a little bit better now, guys?
Can you hear both of us better now?
Yeah, I think.
It was probably me.
Yeah, it was probably Jamal.
It
Yeah,
was.
it's perfect. Thank you guys for the feedback. We really appreciate it. We're not pros at this yet, so we're going to be trying to give you guys as cool of an experience as you can. Louder, even. Okay, we're going to.
Louder.
Okay, maybe not
That was too loud. That was too
maybe-
loud.
maybe-
Yeah, too loud.
That's a little bit too loud. We could put it louder. Okay, so we'll try to make sure that it gets in there.
A little bit louder.
Excellent. So what do we have that came out of that? We have a Shaco running around with a Rift Herald. We have an Ashe that has a Blade of the Rune King and a Rune's Hurricane, so she's going to be doing a CC and damage machine right now. What do they have over on the other side? I mean, don't discount the Kaisa. She still has.
Well, she has her Rage Blade finished and the Man Immune. Those are two big items on her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's starting to go. The Nashers too, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like she's going right into the Nashers too. She's going full AP Kaisa, which is what is expected.
It's the most awesome Kaiser.
It's gonna be a slugfest. So, with the top turret still up for Concordia, I don't think bottom turret is where they want to drop that Rift Herald. But where do you think that they would try to put pressure to drop it? Personally, I mean,
I'm not sure, but I think they might try and get because all the plates are down already. So maybe
it's not really about plates at this point. Really, it's
yeah, it's just
pressure.
trying to push and impose your will on the other team.
See if they had pressure on one of the lanes. If they had a good wave push, they could drop the Rift Herald, try to distract them. But there's no dragon up, and it's a little bit too early for Baron. So, well,
I think mid lane would probably be the best spot to put it for now.
I'm taking a look at the chat now, and they're asking us, are we rooting for anyone? Well, we are both Concordia students, so we are rooting for Concordia. We're trying to keep it as biased as possible, as unbiased, sorry, as possible.
Oh
Not as
wow,
biased as
that's
possible. That's what a Freudian slip sounds like, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going for Concordia, but
we have a team fight right now with Kaisa popping in and a nice stun.
Ashe is still
much
alive. Ashe is still alive, and she's great, and she's throwing arrows down, and everybody seems to escape on the side of Concordia within slivers of their health. We have,
Except for the Shaco.
well, Shackle went down, yes, but Orianna and Ashe barely alive.
The Syndra and Leona going down on the other side, but that was a nice stun coming off from the Ashe.
And Orianna is playing with fire a little bit, unless she just wanted to clean up a little bit of that farm. Maybe she's a little bit off of one of her items.
And the Rift Herald dropping the bot lane. Not going to be enough to get the turret, but still does land down some good push.
Yeah, I figured that just putting the pressure on another lane is what helped them a bit in that team fight there.
We're seeing a lot of team fights. This is very exciting.
It's what I anticipated though with those teams. They have two very team fighty teams. I hate saying that like that. It sounds so dumb, but two very team fighty teams. And
You gotta love the team fighting teams.
so the Mountain Drake, which is risky because everybody's up and everybody's in that area. Shackle just wants it.
The Shaco secures the
Anybody
Drake
who's
and
watched,
takes.
for anybody who's watching Ace Ventura not Pet Detective, When Nature Calls. It's the second one in the series. So now we have a big team fight, and Kiana is going off and manages to kill the Orianna, but Kaisa getting the kill on Shaco, but
So what was important there, that the Kaisa jumped right in the back, took the Ashe out right from the beginning. The Ornn did get caught out and died at first, but the follow-up from UDM was pretty strong.
I mean, I don't think that they'll be able to contest this turret because, I mean, Cho'Gath is still pretty much full health. He has a very good wave clear, but they did win that frame fight.
Yeah, and then they're slowly coming back.
Yeah, I mean,
not that the lead was insurmountable or anything, but they're coming back into this game, pushing strong, and you could see the power of the Kaisa in the later half of the game.
yeah. So Concordia is going to need to find a way to protect Ashe, maybe a little bit better if they want her to survive to the end of those team fights. So they'll the steady damage you expect coming out of an ADC.
And it looks like they're trying to make a play for Baron over here.
It's risky. I mean, I don't think UDM has any vision in the area, but they just dropped the blue
Do
ward.
have some vision,
So now they know what's going on.
but
the
the
question
they're
is,
gonna be able to get up there fast enough.
not, especially now. The Ornal comes in, but it's just not in time.
Lands a knock-up on 3, and then the Orianna comes, pulls in the Syndra, which is... But the Kaisa still takes up the Shaco. The Ornn and the Kiana are laying down a lot of CC with the Leona.
So now what they have to do is try to keep at least one person alive with them. But they
But
managed
it looks
to-
like they came out of that team fight ahead.
Oh yeah, they cleaned up 4 players on the other team, and Orianna, who did so much damage in that team fight, is gonna be, I guess, leading the charge with those 2 big boys next to her. And they're gonna crash onto this turret here, try and take it before what I assume is gonna be a back. That was very risky. I did not think that they had the damage to be able to take on the Baron so early, but I mean,
The Ashe is pretty... She's itemized.
yeah, you got. Sometimes you have to make those risks. Like they saw that they didn't have any vision on the board, and nobody was in the area, and it was a great call to make. That's great team playing. So now that they have 3 players on their team that still have the Baron buff, they have a wave pushing in on top, but they're almost at the inhibitor turret over in the mid lane. Where do you think that they're going to be putting their pressure? What do you think Concordia should do?
Well, they seem to be winning the team fights. I think they're probably just going to try and group up and maybe try and shove this one. Get a little bit, maybe try and get a turret or 2 top or bot to keep this, keep the Baron power play going.
Because they still have that. They still have the Kaisa to worry about. With 7-4 and 208 farm, she is doing a great job of keeping her team in this fight.
Yeah, she's getting to the back and putting on a lot of damage on the Ashe and the Shaco, and it's very hard. It's going to be very hard to team fight without Ashe.
Yeah. But don't discount the mid laners.
I am not discounting anybody.
So now we have seem to be stacking up 3 people into the bot lane.
Yeah, they're going to try and get another turret bot lane, looks like.
See, what I anticipate them doing is they're going to be putting pressure, because now they have the Baron buff minions pushing in on the mid turret, so they have to answer that. And then they're going to try to use this wave coming in here too to put pressure on the bottom. And this is a pretty good split here, and I think the setup is going pretty well in favor of Concordia.
Yeah, right now they're just out-rotating. There's a fight in the jungle right now.
Oh, and an arrow comes through and manages to stun on Norn.
Yes.
I do not know
Those Norm ults.
how was Cho'Gath still getting hit by tower? He was all the way in the bush on the other side.
That was a big Ornn ult right there that knocked up about 4 members of the Concordia team.
Yeah, that was very well done on the side of UDM. The Concordia have to retreat right now. They have a little bit of go lick their wounds, and they may have to give up that dragon. Although I don't think Shaco wants to. No. He uses his nifty little tricks to get out of that one alive.
The dragon really fast with Kaisa. She's pumping out a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, she has and her mana immune has transformed and it's reached its ultimate form. So they're not out of the woods yet.
No, I mean, one good Kaisa ult and an isolated Q from her could do some big damage.
Mm-hmm. I see a couple of people cheering for UDM. You know, rep your team. That's what I'm saying. I like that. I like seeing that.
And someone likes to lick their wounds reference.
Because I listen to so much League of Legends casters now starting to adopt their saying.
Shout out to that ward skin. Every time you hit it, it kind of like pops up. No, it's not really
The twerking word skin, is that the one you're referring to?
I mean, no.
That's not, because I feel like that's the next one to be implemented into the game.
I hope not.
Yeah? Okay. I'm not,
You might be by yourself on that one.
I might be by myself. In any case.
In any case, they're clearing vision right now, prepping for the Baron.
Baron's gonna be spawning soon, and
I'm not sure if you knew this. Baron is very important in this game.
yeah, not always important, but sometimes he is.
Yes.
Or is it a she? I don't know the lore on that.
I think it's a she.
So if it's a she, who do you think Mr. Baron is?
Mr. Baron.
Like if
Some.
would it be the Elder Dragon? You think?
I hope not.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, that would be very strange.
It'd be strange.
Yeah.
In any case, so we have 5 members in mid to top lane for. We have a back coming up from Warren, who's going to be answering the wave that's pushing into the bottom lane. Concordia is still hovering around Baron, knowing that there's going to be a strong play to take there. With the 2 Mountain Drakes and the Inferno that they have, they should be able to take the Baron down easy. So UDM has to be careful to make sure that this doesn't go uncontested.
That's a very strong Ashe. She can take that Baron down very quickly with the 2 Mountain Drakes.
The vision they have set up in the top lane right now, the top river, means that Concordia has the ability to. They're gonna have to face check a lot of bushes if they want to see what's going on over into that lane.
This is a war of vision right around now.
With the Ornn joining the team back in the mid lane, it's this is gonna be. It's looking like they're ramping up for a little bit of a fight. Oh my goodness, we see a little bit of trash talk in the chats right now.
Yeah, some healthy trash talk.
Is it healthy?
Depends.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, and a nice Ashe ult on top of the Kai'Sa, and she gets devoured by. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of damage. And that's a great opportunity for Concordia right now. Kai'Sa and the double kill going over. Not triple kill, sorry, but 3 kills going down for Concordia. UDM right now they are running for their lives from scary monsters and snowman, snowporo. I don't know what you would call Orianna in that skin. In any case, they are crashing down on that turret right now, and Cho'Gath is absolutely huge, and that inhibitor does not stand a chance.
And that was an awesome Ashe arrow to stun the Kai'Sa. You know that she's the big damage for the team. If you take her out, then there's not really that much.
I mean, Kiana has a lot of CC and damage, but she is, well, she went down quickly as well, but
She wasn't in a good spot to respond to that fight.
no. And Concordia right now is going to go and take the Baron. See, as an ADC, your positioning is everything, and I've made so many mistakes just being out of position. And Kai'Sa, losing Kai'Sa, like any other player in there, could have been a little bit. They could have salvaged that fight. The fact that Kai'Sa was stunned and locked down so much, she could not even. She couldn't respond to any of that.
Yeah, it was.
It was unfortunate. I don't know if it was just a bad timing, but quite unfortunate to have her go down like that. But yay for Concordia.
Someone wants to know how many stacks on Cho.
How many stacks on Cho?
My answer is stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks, but I don't feel like that's a.
It's not the same.
It's not a good answer.
I'm gonna wait for him to get back in. I guess I could just go and see.
Red team's
Of
turret
what?
has been destroyed.
He has 10 feast stacks right now. Yeah, I could subscribe to that. Shadows, yeah, I can subscribe to that. I've seen them play League of Legends. They can. They're great doctors though. Doctors and lawyers, but League of Legends players no.
Yikes.
This is Concordia, man.
Some trash talking.
We
I
need
like-
a little bit of trash talk.
I
It's-
like it.
It's good. It's good. You get the fire up.
Yes.
Although right now, Concordia seems to have forgotten about protecting their mid tower. Although
got a
a
little
big
bit of ult.
Orianna ult comes through and an Orin ult comes through as well.
We're seeing all the ults just being thrown out there.
And a stopwatch going down at the Ashe as Kiana and Kaisa go down.
Trying to get to that Ashe. The Kiana just went down. She did everything she could.
Yeah.
They played Protect the Ashe on that one, and it was beautiful.
And that's what you got to do in a team fight situation. You got a big old dinosaur bear thing.
He's definitely not a bear. That one, that one, I'm putting my foot down. You avoid Space Bear.
Blue team's turret has been
Avoid Space Bear.
Void Space, that's what I said.
So with the Baron buff and the giant Void Space Bear
Yes.
coming in,
And
and the ace going through, this match looks like it's going in favor of Concordia.
it does look that way.
With
And they'll take game one
game one going over to Concordia. GG.
in a very exciting fashion.
That was a great match, guys.
Yeah, hope everyone's like that.
It's a Void Space Worm. Oh, okay, so it's a Space Worm.
He's a worm?
I mean, I don't know.
But I didn't know that.
Somebody seems salty, huh?
Ah, come on. But that was a great game.
That was a great match.
The Shaco, he took control in the early game, and so did the Ashe. But then UDM started to come back on the heels of the Kaisa, and at a certain point in the team fights, when they just started protecting the Ashe, it just wasn't enough.
No.
If she wasn't able to go in and delete the Ashe immediately.
No. And like putting herself in vulnerable positions, because Kaisa has to jump into the backline to do the damage. So I think they realized that's why Ashe did things like pick up the stopwatch, right? Stopwatch gave her the ability, and especially in that last team fight, to survive through
The Kiana ult, the Orin ult,
Exactly.
the Leona ult. It was a very good CC on the other team.
And Concordia adjusted, right? Like they had a good game plan, and they managed to, when things started to go a little bit less in their favor, they adjusted to make the right moves. And they had a couple calls that were like the early dragon call that they did. That was risky, but it's exciting play, and to see people take risky calls like that, you know, like the Baron play that they had in the middle of the game was really risky too. But
it was risky but decisive, and that's once you go in there, you jump off, you can't jump back.
Exactly.
And it was good to see them commit to those plays.
They were following the lead of whoever was leading the team, and whoever was leading the team gave them some great advice. So it was a decisive victory for Concordia. But this match is not over yet, guys. We still have another game to go. This is best of